Good morning, I'm Audrey Gasoleno. It's 8:55 and here's your morning rush. A late night house fire may have been set on purpose. The fire broke out around 8:45 last night on West South Cross. It took crews about half an hour to get it out. Police detained the man who lives in an apartment behind that house. They say he made threats earlier on Monday. 6 dogs are missing. Firefighters say the animals may have run off when the fire started. 2 18-wheelers collide in South Bexar County, sending one driver to the hospital. Authorities say the 2 semis were on I-37 near Mathis Road around 1 a.m. when one truck tried to pass the other. The trucks hit each other, causing one of the big rigs to veer off the road. It hit the end of a guardrail, ripping the cab apart. The overall risk level is going down as Bexar County fights the coronavirus, but Mayor Ron Nirenberg says there is still work to be done. Metro Health now classifies the overall risk as steady. That means the positivity rate is declining. Testing capacity is in good shape and hospital numbers are going down, although they're still under severe stress. And more people are returning to the skies. Federal data shows the number of people passing through TSA checkpoints is at its highest level since March. The total, about 830,000, is still down 70% from last year. One thing to note, gun confiscations in carry-on bags is nearly triple what it normally is, and 80% are loaded.